Hey guys, I am in my car, but I'm not driving. And I generally do a lot of thinking while I'm driving. And so I'm actually in a parking lot right now, and I thought I would record this quick thought. And it actually comes from a conversation I was having yesterday with a potential client of Jason Grubb Fitness. So if you were wondering what I do, there, you can visit jasongrubb.com to check it out. But there I've got some guides, real simple things. I have some programs, some workout programs, and then I also offer one-on-one and group coaching online. And all of these are to help people become a better version of themselves and achieve their unique and specific fitness goals. And I was on a call yesterday with a gentleman who actually has already started his journey, and 39 years old, has lost well over 100 pounds, and still has about 50 pounds to go. But at age 39, he works out 5 days a week and follows his nutrition very closely, and is in the process of losing weight consistently and steadily. And he has aspirations to be a CrossFit Games athlete in the next 5 to 6 years. So he's 39. He'd like to qualify when he's in the 45 to 49-year-old age group. And I think that's fantastic. And it made me think, as I was driving today, about how hard it actually is to qualify for the CrossFit Games. I started trying for the Games in 2015. I started CrossFit in 2014, and by 2015, I was hooked. I had done one competition, and I thought, that's it, man. I would love to go to the CrossFit Games. And 2015, I competed in the Open. It was fantastic. Enjoyed it. 2016 was the first year that I could qualify as a Masters competitor at age 40, and I went through the CrossFit Open, which is 5 weeks of workouts released on a Thursday, to be done over the weekend and submitted on a Monday. And that score qualifies you to the next round. So after 5 workouts, if you're among the top 200 in the world, you go to the next qualifying round, which is called the Age Group Online Qualifier, which is 4 or 5 workouts over a weekend. And then out of the top 200 there, generally the top 20 people get to go to the CrossFit Games. So let's see, 2016, I went for it. And if you know my journey, I was not really dialed in, but I was training hard. And I did make the top 200 in the CrossFit Open. In the online qualifier, I did okay, but really I finished that one. So I went from 28,000 people to about 200 people for the qualifier. Top 20 after the qualifier go to the Games, and I placed like 60th, 70th place, something like that. So I wasn't super close, but I was pretty excited to at least be a part among the qualifiers. In 2017, worked my tail off, qualified for the online qualifier after the CrossFit Open, and ended up in like 50th place. Still needed to get top 20. The following year, 2018, finished the Open in about 60th place, and that seeded you into the next round. And I actually went from 55th place to 17th place. And it ended up being 13th place when it was all said and done, and qualified for the CrossFit Games in 2018. Went to the Games, placed 3rd, great experience. And when I got back, people asked me, "Oh man, you did so good. You're gonna go for it again, right? You're gonna go back to the Games?" And I remember saying, like, it's really hard. It's really effing hard to qualify to the Games. There's a very slim chance that I'll ever have that opportunity again, that I'll ever qualify again. But I will work hard. Through 2018 into 2019, I placed 80th in the CrossFit Open. In 2019, earlier this year, because the rules changed. All you had to do was get the top 200, and then they would clear the scores, and for the online qualifier, everyone starts at 0. You didn't need to have an exceptional position in the Open. So out of 28,000 competitors, I placed 90th, and that felt good, but I was also training full speed ahead at that time. So I would do most of my training and then do the Open workout. I placed 80th. I got in to the online qualifier, did well there, so placed 7th. They accepted the top 10 into the CrossFit Games. Went to the games, and as you know, this summer I won. It was amazing, unexpected, but I won the CrossFit Games in my age group. So that's the story. But how it's so hard to qualify? What are the things that you have to do to actually qualify for the games? Well, first of all, you have to be very serious and smart about your training. One of my glitches in the couple of years that I didn't qualify is I was overtraining. I was way overtraining. If you're familiar in this world with CompTrain, I was doing full CompTrain workouts, which is a very competitive program, a program for competitors. And it might be 2.5, 3 hours of work a day. Sometimes it's meant to be broken up into 2 parts. I was doing the whole thing in one session, but it meant that I was really going too hard, abusing my body, doing too much, and not having a chance to really recover. In 2017, after I didn't qualify for the games, I switched over to CompTrain Masters, which is a lighter load. It's a lot of work, but it's not nearly the intensity and the volume of regular CompTrain, and it's more appropriate for a guy that's 42 years old. So I work out smart, and I do follow those guys to a T. Whatever Harry programs for CompTrain Masters, whatever he says, I'll do, and that's fine. And that's how I get it done. And the sun is going down. I'm losing my light, but I keep going. Nutrition is a really important part. After 2017, not qualifying for the games, I was eating well. I just wasn't eating. I still ate still ate some garbage, but one of the biggest changes I made was removing grain from my diet completely, all grains. So no beer, no grains, no spaghetti, no lasagna, no noodles, no bread, no donuts, none of that stuff. Anyway, we shouldn't be eating, but I removed grain and replaced all of those sort of empty carbohydrates and inflammatory carbohydrates with whole vegetables. And in making that switch over, I felt great. And so now all of my meals are protein, carbs, veggies, but all my carbs are vegetable based. For the most part, I do have some rice now, and then to supplement some carbs. But having nutrient dense foods was a game changer for me. Sleep, recovery, huge components. So in the last couple of years, I've really focused on creating a solid sleep rhythm, if that makes sense. I would call it sleep hygiene, and it means going to bed at around the same time, making sure the room is appropriate for sleeping, having a good bedtime routine. Actually, matter of fact, shameless plug, on the website I do have a sleep guide. It's fantastic. It's everything that I do, plus a couple of things that I do when I travel, for getting the best sleep possible. And our muscles recover, our body recovers significantly when we sleep. If we don't sleep, we are not going to get stronger. We're not going to be able to perform as well. We're not going to be able to train as hard. So sleep's huge. If you're interested in that, go jump out jasongrubb.com/store, and you'll find that it's really inexpensive. But sleep was huge. You have to have a one-track focus. And I generally have a way of being that when I'm really focused on something, I get a little bit overly focused. But you really do have to have a solid one-track focus for training. If you're training for the games, you're training consistently every day. On your recovery days, you're recovering. On the days that you're supposed to do mobility, you're doing mobility. On the days that you should be swimming, you're swimming. And that becomes a priority. And I'm building 2 businesses right now. And I have kids, and I try to balance all of my priorities. But a lot of things do revolve around when I train. Do I train in the morning? Because then everything else is going to be in the afternoon. Or am I going to work a bit in the morning and then train in the afternoon? But I have that focus that I eat dinner because I need to fuel the next day's training. I eat breakfast because I need to fuel today's training. I drink plenty of water and different fluids throughout the day to make sure that I get enough fluids for my training. And the side effect to that is that I feel great, and these things are all really good for me. But it is a one-track focus. There's consistency. I mean, that's really simple. I don't know what I need to say about consistency, except that all of these things have to be consistent. I don't have cheat days. I don't do a 90-10 principle on food. Like, I don't eat well 90% of the time and eat like shit 10% of the time. I eat well 99% of the time. From time to time, I'll have an extra glass of wine or two. That's about it. I don't eat cake. I don't eat ice cream. I love those things, and I will celebrate some things like that. And I'm also not an asshole at a party. Like, if someone offers me, I'll have a bite of cake or I'll have something very small, but really, I'm very consistent. And then finally, it takes sacrifice. It takes time and sacrifice. It's funny. It's not the type of sacrifice that I feel bad or sad or I'm unhappy about. I love training. I love eating well. I love feeling good. I love having a structured day that revolves around waking up, eating breakfast, training, working in the afternoon on my entrepreneurial businesses, eating a solid dinner, having an evening routine, a bedtime routine that helps me sleep well. Love all of those things. But there is a sacrifice in my day of about 2 hours, maybe a little longer given drive time, where I work out. And I happily suffer, because I love training, but it is a sacrifice. And it does keep me, particularly in the summer when I qualify for the CrossFit Games. I can't go climb 14ers every weekend because I need to train. And climbing a 14er is not a recovery effort. I don't go out with friends on a Friday night and have a ton of drinks. Like, in the summertime, if we go see a Rockies game and we're home at like 10:30, it's so late. So it's really rare that that's going to happen. When I go out, I don't go out drinking. I don't go on in the middle of summer, a 10-day trip to Lake Powell, because I need to maintain that consistency, particularly when going for the games. Now, if you follow me, you saw that I did take 3 weeks after this year's CrossFit Games to go and trek to Everest Base Camp. But of those 3 weeks, I did work out to some extent. Let's see if that was 21 days, probably 15 times on the trip, and that was a sacrifice. People are inside having a cup of coffee, just enjoying, and I love that too. I had coffee too, but I did go outside and do 150 burpees at 14,000 feet because I needed to maintain my level of fitness. And gratefully, with the Open being so close this year, I actually had my best Open finish along with that entire trek. So in a nutshell, we're looking at training consistently and training smart, sleep and recovery, nutrition, having a one-track focus, being consistent, and sacrificing, making some sacrifices. And that's what it takes to qualify for the games. And even that, with all of that, it's really hard. It's really hard. So yeah, I won the games last year. That is absolutely zero guarantee that I will qualify this year. But I'll give it my best effort, and I can't wait to hopefully go back to Madison. And in the meantime, I'm gonna compete at Wadapalooza. So that'll be fun too. Anyway, thanks for listening. Love sharing with you guys. If you have questions, or you want to get in touch with me, or you want to follow more of what I do, check out the stuff that I'm doing, head over to Jason Grubb. That's Jason, JASON GRUBB.com. And we'll see you soon.